Hello everybody, Leadr here. Guys, we have some secret scenes that the Dom Studios put in with episode 29, the full episode. And guys, these secret scenes was there were a lot of Easter eggs to uncover, but guys, before we do that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, clap that like button like I clap a Leadr. Guys, let's get into the video. Alright, so guys, the very first thing that we can see is that we have all the Analysis YouTubers back in, and as they all talk about the stuff, we can see how we already have some Easter eggs with the literal beginning scene, how we have the Fook Boom in the very background, which this is really funny to see, considering the fact that we have it. Also, we have a lot of interesting things with all the Analysis YouTubers circled in the very background, and we can even have some play figures, although I can't quite read it. But as this video goes on, we can notice a lot about the Easter eggs, but I think we should hear what they have to talk about in the first couple seconds.
It's strange how those who can control time are the last ones to arrive.
You want me to stop time for a walk? Don't start it again.
What's the news?
7 different dimensions. And at last, I have you all in my grasp. The loop is no more. He will return. And this time, you can't do anything about it.
Drop the act. You know we're not bad people.
Good people do bad things.
With good reasons.
Then what are those fucking reasons?
You wouldn't get it. Sorry, but there's no point to explain it. But I assure you whatever we did and will do is for the sake of our friend's future.
Let's just say you can't expect us to stop.
You don't seem to understand. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to destroy you. Ridiculous. I'm the source of all Clark's powers, and yet you stand a chance. Something's wrong with you all. You don't belong here. This is not over.
Report this to him.
Nah, I can go for a good meal. Oh, let's go, good.
So as the episode first starts off, we can see Elite Clockwoman and Elite Clockman enter the room, and we can see how IsoToilet ends up saying how funny how the controllers of time take the longest to get here. And as Elite Clockman ends up saying, what, you want me to stop time for a walk? And as this ends up happening, we can end up hearing Moby say, what's the news? And as this ends up happening, we can see the future Clockman as he ends up coming into the scene, and he ends up saying, finally, I have all of you here from 7 dimensions. Now, this probably is talking about the fact that every Analysis YouTuber is like their own separate world or something. I am not quite sure about it. And as Elite Clockwoman ends up saying, we're good people, we don't have bad intentions, the future Clockman ends up saying, what good fucking reasons, as he ends up shouting it at them. And as this ends up happening, the Elite Clockman ends up saying, you wouldn't understand, but as he ends up saying this, he says, there's no point in explaining, and this is probably really true. And as he does, he says, but I assure you, whatever happens is the sake for our future friend. And then Elite Clockman ends up saying, let's just say, whatever you expect us to do, we won't stop. And the future Clockman ends up saying how, oh, I don't expect you to stop, I'm here to destroy you. And as he ends up trying to kill the Elite Clockwoman, the Elite Clockman, I'm sorry, he ends up shielding it with a power we haven't seen yet. And as he ends up shielding it, the future Clockman ends up using both powers, and the Elite Clockman ends up struggling. But then the Elite Clockwoman comes in, and they finally get rid of his power. And then, as we can see how they're both looking at him, he says, what the... as he ends up saying, I'm the source of all Clockman's powers, and you two can, and yet you stand a chance? Good luck with y'all. And as he ends up leaving, this isn't really a lot to go on, other than the fact that he went here to annihilate them and he failed. But something that does end up interesting me the most is the fact that he's the source of all Clock's power. Now, this has had me stumbled for a couple minutes. For one, I thought that at first that Big Ben was the source of all Clock's powers. Then I was wrong about that. So then I had the theory that the Titan Clockman was the source of all the powers to the Clockman because he's the Titan, of course. But then now, as we're learning, the future Clockman is the source of all Clock's powers. As he ends up saying, there's something wrong with y'all, good luck. This doesn't make sense because he came here to kill them. I don't think he really did. I think he came here to test their strength. As he ends up leaving, we can see how Moby says, so who's going to report this to him? And we can see that just Kobe says, nah, I'm out. And Hot Sauce says, let's go Hot Sauce gang, as he ends up leaving the scene, and this is where we're left off. But we can actually end up seeing a bunch of YouTubers on the back of this wall if you look closely. We can see how we have the most of the Analysis YouTubers right here with Elite Clockman, Moby, Elite Clockwoman, ISO, Just Cozy, and Hot Sauce. And we can see a bunch of other YouTubers down here, including Creekcraft. Now, I don't know if they plan to include these YouTubers in the real series, but it is a high possibility since they've been adding YouTubers from other shows in their show, which I've been trying to do for almost a couple months now. Please, Dumb Studios, I beg you, please add me in your video. At least even one YouTube short or blooper would be nice. Anyways, as we can even see how it looks like we see a picture of an egg. Now, I'm not sure with which YouTuber this is, but it is very interesting to see. Now, when Moby says, so who's going to report it to him? I actually have a theory on who this is. So, as we know, Elite Clockman has only ever been shown in the shorts, and we have actually seen Hiko Toilet as well in the shorts. But I think that Elite Cameraman is actually the leader of the YouTuber Analisisers. And I think because this incident happened and Elite Cameraman was not here, I think that they need to report this to him, considering the fact that the future Clockman is a threat to them. Now, there's not much to go on here other than the fact we had one other thing. As we actually ended up getting an Elite Clockwoman's leaks video for the secret scenes, we can see that the Skibidi Toilet scientist is actually now a human in one of his recent pictures with a gun to the right here, as we can see. But what's even stranger is the fact that he's a human, like I said. But I think that this gun, in the Dom Studios timeline, turned everyone into Skibidi Toilets. But if we look down to the left corner, we can actually see how every scientist is carrying their briefcase, including the scientist's Skibidi Toilet. But I don't know what this gun is about. It definitely could have turned everyone into Skibidi Toilets, but as we know in the original series, all you had to do was be sitting on a toilet and near one singing the song and eating poop, and that's all you had to do to turn into a Skibidi Toilet. But here, it may just be a little different with a ray gun, and you may be turned into one. I'm not quite sure the science behind it, but it was definitely really interesting to see, you guys. But guys, without further ado, I have no more theories, so I hope you enjoyed my videos. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, clap that like button like I clap Elite Drill Woman, you guys. And I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading for very long, just some problems with my family. Don't worry about it, it's all solved now. But guys, without further ado, Elite Drill Man out. Peace.